What's going on, guys? It's the Bigs Podcast, episode number 108. And today we're going to go over the top 25 outfielders as we see them going into the 2024 season. With me, as always, Jason Ashby from Denver, Colorado. Jason, how you doing?
Fantastic, Joe. Happy to be back, and let's wrap up these outfielders and keep inching closer to the start of the season. I'm getting really excited. Watching all these spring training games is getting me really amped for the start of our season. So I'm ready to get going.
Trace Thompson with a Mets homer today. That was pretty
Grand
awesome.
slam, baby.
Yeah, looking
Yep.
good, looking good. Now, for our second guest this evening, joining us again, Frank Bucco. Frank, how are you this evening, my friend?
I'm doing wonderful. Joe, Jason, love to be here with you guys. This is always a fun time. Let's get
It's
it
going to
going.
be a blast this evening. Let's start as we did. We finished up last episode with number 26, so we're going to be going 25 through 1 here. So let's get this thing started here. Frank, who do you have at number 25?
I have the leadoff hitter for the Toronto Blue Jays, George Springer.
Oh, okay. I have him a little bit higher. Why do you have him so low?
Well, I mean, his abysmal second half of last year. I mean, pictures or it didn't happen. That's how I look
Okay.
at it. That's how I look at it. So,
All
I
right.
mean, show me something. Show
I
me
have him
something.
just outside the top 15, actually. So we'll have to see if he can bounce back to a better season than what you saw last year. Jason, who do you have at 25?
25. I have the newest remember of the Chicago Cubs. I have Cody Bellinger here.
I have him a
Um,
little bit higher. I have him at 19.
Yeah,
What's up with
and you know
Cody?
what? I can definitely see him moving back up. I want to see how this year goes for him. He had a
Mm-hmm.
really nice 2023, but it's coming off of dreadful seasons from him, for years. So I'm a little skeptical. So I have him just here at the entrance of our 25. I would take him on my team. He's gonna have
Mm-hmm.
first base and center field eligibility, of course. So that's really good. Um, I don't know which Cody Bellinger is real.
I got you, and I can understand that. I mean, Bellinger was very, very bad in the final bit of his tenure with the Dodgers, but really nice season this past year: 26 homers, 20 steals, 97 RBIs, and 95 runs scored, with only striking out 87 times and almost 500 bats. It's a
I'm
beautiful
so
stat
glad I
line.
dropped him.
Yeah, right. He was so good last year. A,
Horrible.
a lot of us did. A lot of us did. There were many of us who bounced him around in early April when he had his struggles, and then once he settled in, he took off. Very disappointing that none of us reaped the benefits of that. My number 25 is Cedric Mullins, old friend of the program here. 15 homers, 19 steals, 74 RBIs last year, and just over 400 of bats. Only had a 233 batting average and a 305 on base, but I'm willing to forgive it because of the injury. I'm worried that I'm not really worried that he's going to have that injury again. So I think he's going to be more like what we saw in 2022. We'll move on to number 24. Frank, who's at 24 for you, buddy?
Spencer Steer.
Spencer Steer, we talked about extensively over the last few weeks.
Yep.
I think the first base pod was the first time he came up. So probably check that one out. Jason, number 24 for you, sir.
We mentioned him in the last episode. This is where I have Eloy Jimenez.
Okay, yeah. This is the spot where you're last resort on this guy.
Yeah. Again, give me 140 games and at least 25 homers, or I'm done.
24 is
And
where
don't
I
have a
have
baby during the playoff run.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or get
Thanks.
hurt jumping into a wall or whatever. Like, dude has had just a myriad of issues this for his career, and it
Yeah.
would be nice to see a full season from him. We got a full season out of my number 24 last year. Ian Happ, 21 homers, 14 steals, 99 walks is really nice. Left field eligible only, so not really all that versatile. But still gave you a 791 OPS. Really good, solid dude. I just feel like he's gonna be right in the middle of that Cubs order and reap some benefits here. Moving up to the Jordan spot at number 23. Frank, who do you have there?
I have Nick Castellanos here,
Okay.
and I would listen to the argument to make him higher. If either of you gentlemen would like to, facilitate that argument. But I mean, he hits in a good lineup. I mean, it's honestly, you never know what you're going to get with him. I mean, some years, he's been consistent the past couple of years when he was with the Cubs, when he was with Philly, but I mean, there's other guys that are above him for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, I'd listen to the argument about moving him up.
I love 37 doubles and 106 RBIs, but 185 strikeouts is a little bit ugly. I've got him a little bit higher. I've got him inside my top 15, but I've got him in this cluster of dudes that strike out a lot that I'm not necessarily targeting. I can understand if you're afraid of the strikeouts, you don't want to deal with maybe the variance of outcomes that he's had over the last couple of years. He was great in Cincinnati, wasn't great his first year in Philly. And now he bounced back here this year. I can understand the trepidation of being like, I'm kind of good on that unless I see it further.
But again, like the strikeout rate was the worst of his career. So like I do have him a little higher up, and maybe this was a blip, on the radar for him, and he tones it back down. It is still the Phillies lineup, so like the RBIs and the runs scored are going to be plentiful for this guy.
Yeah, that I can agree with. The counting stats will be there. And you know what? Not for nothing. He hit 272 last year. That's pretty decent. And expected batting average kind of stuck with it at 259. So yeah. I would be willing to give him a shot a little bit higher. We'll see who's on your list there, Frank. And I think we'll get to a point where we'll be like, Castellanos should go there.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
All right. Fair enough. Jason, who do you have at the Jordan spot number 23?
All right, this is not going to sit well with you, I don't think. But I have Randy Arozarena here.
I've got him only a few spots higher.
Okay.
I have him a lot higher.
Yeah, look, the 2020 postseason, he was a man on fire and looked like he was going to be the next, Judge or Trout or whatever. And he's been good. He's been solid, but he hasn't been superstar level that I think we were expecting. So the 2020, 20 homers, 20 stolen bases each of the last 3 years is nice, but the batting average is okay. The strikeout rate is not great. Like only 19 doubles last year. Like that's not great. So, and I don't like the Rays lineup overall. So I have him a little further down here. I hope that he gets better, but I don't see it.
The on-base percentage is really nice. He had 80 walks last year.
Yeah.
That was top 10% at the position. The on-base percentage is nice. It carries him to a decent OPS, but you're right. He's good, not great.
Yeah.
And I've got him at 18 in a spot where, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Like it's in this cluster of dudes who are good, not great, but can fill out a roster very nicely.
Yeah.
And the stats are going to take a hit due to the poor lineup.
It's possible. It's possible he gets his counting stats up and maybe takes a step forward this year. I'm willing to believe that. He's not a guy I'm avoiding by any means. Jason, is that what you're saying? You're kind of avoiding this guy based on this ranking, or
I don't know if I'm avoiding him, but I'm certainly not targeting him. If he's around in the in the 8th or 9th round or whatever, like, and I need an outfield,
no chance. No,
chance. I was going to say not going to happen.
4th or 5th round is about as late as you're going to see that dude last.
I want to see what his
what's his ADP?
Let's see.
Projected draft pick is.
Right now he is going at. Oh God, yeah, he's going at 36. No.
Yeah, that's 3rd round.
No, I'm not touching him there.
My number 23 is old friend of the program, Brian Reynolds, center field and left field eligible, 24 homers, 84 RBIs last year, 12 steals, nice solid 263 average. He's good. He's not great. He's what you're going to get out of this outfielder. It feels really good to have had him on my roster at the end of the season, pushing me into the playoffs. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Moving on, number 22, Frank, who do you have at 22?
I have the guy who I traded you last year and pushed you in the playoffs, so we're just going to move on.
It was Brian Reynolds. All right, that's fantastic. Jason, who do you have at 22?
We talked about him last episode. I have Byron Buxton here.
Okay.
I do believe that if he can stay healthy, which who knows, but if he's on the field, he's one of the most dynamic players in the game. He's a 30-30 threat. So yeah, I have him here.
All right. We talked about him last week or yesterday, actually. I have him down at 32, so I've got him 10 spots lower just because of the injury risk, just because of the lack of playing time that he's been on the field.
Yep.
My number 22, Frank, you might be wearing his jersey. His name is Michael Harris, the second.
No, I'm wearing
No?
my own jersey, but thank you.
Okay.
It
Last
is
year,
literally my own jersey, mine.
yeah. Listen, Michael Harris had a nice year last year, 293 batting average, 18 homers and 20 steals. The only thing that's stopping him from being inside the top 20 is the fact that he hits at the bottom of the lineup. And I can't do anything about that. He can't do anything about that. The only thing he can do is either do better or somebody gets hurt. So
Put some respect
now,
on Money Mike's name, Joe.
listen, I'm putting respect on him. I've got him in the top 25.
All right, fair enough.
I actually have him a lot higher.
Really?
I have him a lot higher as well.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys will have to convince me when we get to that point. Let's go to number 21. Frank, who do you have at 21?
I have another person who propelled you into the playoffs last year, Kyle Schwarber.
There you go. 215 strikeouts, but 100 walks, 100 runs, 100 RBIs, 47 home runs. He hit 197, but this dude was a counting stats machine. Jason, where do you have your old friend Kyle Schwarber?
I have him where I have him just a few spots higher. I have him at 18.
Okay. That means I'm the high guy on Schwarber at 15. That's amazing.
Yeah, I kept moving him around because like he's such a polarizing player, right? Like if you 50 home runs is terrific. 200 strikeouts is not. What do you want? And it depends on how you're going to build the rest of your team.
It's a long, hard road if you decide in the fourth round, I'm going to take on 200 strikeouts right now, especially if you start with somebody like, I don't know, Judge or Julio who strikes out a lot, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My number 22, or we're 21 now. Is that where we're at? Yeah. My number 21 friend of ours, Jason, Brandon Nimmo. 24 homers, 63 RBIs, but 89 runs scored, 279 4 average, and a 363 on base last year. Good for an 829 OPS. Love him. Love him. Hit lead off in that order right in front of Pete, score a ton of runs, and have another great season.
I have him higher, and they're moving him out of center field, so that should alleviate some of the pressure, I think, off of him to let him just roam left field and not have to worry about his defense. I have him a little bit higher.
He's double eligible left end center, so it would be nice to plug him in at one of those spots this year. I don't know that I'm necessarily targeting him either, but it's one of those, if he's there at the right time and I need an outfielder, he's certainly a good outfielder too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Frank, we'll move to number 20. Who do you have at 20?
I have Josh Lowe here.
Okay, we talked about him last week.
Year. And I think he's only going to get better.
You think he's the piece that's going to fill the vacancy left by Wander Franco's absence?
I think Yandy's done that, but I mean, in terms of the bat, but yeah, I mean, the steals are nice. And he's a young kid, much like a lot of those prospects that come through that organization. I mean, I think he's going to do really well.
Okay. Josh Lowe at 20 for Frank. Who do you have at 20 there, Jason?
20. You mentioned him. I have Cedric Mullins here.
Okay.
Just, like you said, the injury, really kind of derailed him last year, but the power speed combo is still there. And he's hitting atop of this incredible Orioles lineup. So, there's a lot to like. I have him at 20.
All right. As long as he's the leadoff hitter, I'm willing to move him up a little bit, but I have to make sure that he's the leadoff hitter. They had him batting 7th a lot last year, and it was, I'm sure, frustrating.
Yeah. Actually, you're right. He is projected right now to hit 6th.
There
They
you
have
go.
Gunnar Henderson leading off against righties. I
Mhm.
don't know. I don't know if that sticks, but we'll see.
We'll have to wait and see. My number 20 is JD Martinez. Yes, he's back in the outfield rankings as Yahoo has given him left field eligibility this year. Interestingly enough,
Weirdly enough.
103 RBIs last year, good for an 893 OPS. He had a great season in LA, waiting on a job currently. So as the days tick by, I might be shuffling him down just a little bit as things go by. Let's move to number 19. Frank, who made your top 20 this year?
Christian Yelich did.
There you go. Christian Yelich is in this. He's in this next tier for me here, starting at 19. Um, do you like the Brewers this year going into the season?
No, but I
Oh.
like Christian Yelich.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's.
I mean, between him and Rhys Hoskins, somebody's got to hit the ball.
Yeah, and William Contreras is still there. Jackson Churio is going to be there. So they've got what looks like a decent little lineup going on, but we'll see
and
what
William
they're.
Thomas will hit 214.
And he might have 30 bombs. That'll help that lineup, no
Yeah.
doubt. Jason, number 19. Who is it?
We mentioned him in the last show. I have Teoscar Hernandez here. I know the 200 strikeouts is not good, but like I have him right below Kyle Schwarber because to me they're kind of like in that order. Like they're both 200 strikeout guys, power guys, RBI guys. He's going to be hitting in the middle of the Dodgers lineup. It's going to be lethal. It's a walk year for him. Like I just see like, he can get another 30 homer season out of him, and I'd be okay with that here.
Listen, he hits 30 bombs. That's a really great season for him. He hit 26 last year with 93 RBIs in Seattle. There's no reason he can't do it as long as he stays healthy.
Yep.
My number 19, we mentioned him just a few minutes ago, back to Chicago for Cody Bellinger. If he can replicate this season, I think he's has every case now to be in the top 10. But I think I put some respect on his season by putting him at 19 with a little bit of trepidation. Loved the 15.5% strikeout rate. If he can keep that going, I will be all in on this guy.
Yeah.
Moving up to number 18, we spoke about. It's Randy Arozarena. Frank, who do you have at 18?
I have Jazz Chisholm here.
Okay. We talked about him last show. But what do you like? What do you like about Jazz?
I think he's due to have a bounce back year. He was hurt a lot last year. I know he played 140 games, but I mean he was hurt a little bit, and that Marlins lineup is just awful minus Luis Ariz. And it's just a shame, but you got to give the kid some credit. I mean, he could be a 30-30 guy.
Yeah, if he can stay on the field, we talked about it yesterday. If he could stay on the field, he's the lock for 30-30.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
We've seen amazing stretches from Jazz. We've seen amazing flashes from Jazz. Now we just want to see him put it all together for a year.
Especially now with new base running rules and everything like that. Like a full season out of him, you can get 40 steals out of him.
Yeah, absolutely. Jason, who do you have at 18?
18 was Schwarber.
Well, 17 is next up. Frank, who do you have at 17?
I have Teoscar Hernandez here, and the only thing I'm going to say about that guy is the reason he's there is because of the lineup he's in.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I've got him at 30. I'm putting a little bit. I gave him a little bit of credit for the lineup, but I can't carry 200 strikeouts and get 25 homers. Like I'll carry it for Schwarber and get 50.
Right.
But I can't do it with Hernandez. Not like that.
Yeah. And he needs to walk some more too.
Agreed. Yeah. Who do you have at 17, Jason?
17. I have Nick Castellanos here.
Okay. We talked about him, and I have Anthony Santander, who we talked about yesterday. 41 doubles is still what I absolutely love about this guy. If he can continue to be a doubles machine this year.
I wish I could get him higher. Yeah.
I mean, nothing's stopping you from it. You like Mullins. How do you like Mullins more than Santander?
I think it's the speed. I think it's the power speed combo that gets me with Mullins.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. I could see that.
Okay. My number 16 is George Springer. We talked about him. Frank, who do you have at 16?
Well, my 16 was a certain someone, but now they've been bumped out of the top 25, and Cody Bellinger is going there because these rankings were made before Cody Bellinger signed with the Cubs
There you go. All right.
because
Cody
he didn't have a
Bellinger at
job.
16.
So Bellinger at 16.
Jason, who do
And
you have at
sorry,
16?
Jason, Nolan Jones has made it out of the top 25.
Shame, shame, shame. He's not in my top 25 either. He's 26 for me, so it's all right.
Well, he just moved to
16
like
for me.
non-existence.
16 for me is JD Martinez. If Yahoo really is going to give him left field eligibility, which I don't quite understand, but if that's going to happen, look, wherever he's going to land, I think he's going to land in a spot that he's going to flourish in.
Mhm.
Somebody's going to pay him to be their DH, and he's just going to keep on raking. The strikeouts aren't. Last year they went up. The strikeout rate went up last year. But prior to that, it wasn't terrible. 33, he still hit 33 bombs last year, like in 113 games. So yeah, if he can sign somewhere nice, I'm all over this guy.
Yeah. And it's completely possible that he goes to the New York Mets. It's completely possible he goes back to Boston. I really don't know where he's going to land, but it's
I
not
think
like
wherever
he's
he
going to.
goes, sorry, Joe. I
No, go
think
ahead,
wherever
man.
he goes, he's going to have a Miggy Cabrera type role.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
literally he's gonna park himself with a team and he's just gonna DH for until he can't move anymore.
He still absolutely crushes the ball.
Right.
So all of
Put him
the
in
Statcast
Seattle,
metrics
or
are huge.
something.
Exactly. Like he's gonna find a job. He's gonna rake. He's well worth the price. Number 16. My number 16 is George Springer. We talked about him. Frank, 16?
Was Cody Bellinger.
Okay, we did 16. 15 is where we're at. My 15 is Schwarber with his 100 runs, RBIs, and walks, and his 200 strikeouts. Frank, who do you have at 15?
My 15 is Santander with his 41 doubles and hitting in the middle of that Orioles lineup.
Love it.
Yep.
Jason, 15.
Something we haven't talked about yet. This is where I have Adolis Garcia.
Okay, I've got him a little bit higher. I'm at 12.
Yeah. He's another guy. He's somebody I can see being like, a Schwarber, 200 strikeouts with a bunch of home runs, or more like a Teoscar with a bunch, 200 strikeouts with only 20 home runs. So but I love the lineup. I love the power. 107 RBIs, 101 RBIs the year before. The expected batting average is right around his actual batting average, which is kind of paints the picture. And he hits the ball very, very hard. So I have him 15. I could move him up, but I kind of like him here.
I've got him at 12. He doesn't steal as many bags as I would like, or at least he didn't last year. He doesn't walk as much as I would like. He strikes out, like you said, 27.5% of the time. It's over league average. It's not great, but the lineup's great. The counting stats are going to be there. The doubles still exist as well. 29 doubles last year. Well worth the price tag. I've got him at 12. Frank, where do you have Adolis Garcia?
I have him at 13.
13. Okay. So we're all in the same area with a lot of these guys. Schwarber, Springer, Santander, Bellinger, Yelich even.
And I feel like we're going to start getting into, now that we're getting into this rare air here, we're going to start seeing some of the same names, maybe just a few spots, away from each other. So this will be
I'm waiting on one name to pop up that I don't know if I'm going to be the first one to say it or if somebody else is, but we'll find out here in a moment.
Yeah.
14, I have Nick Castellanos. We've talked about him. Frank, who do you have at 14?
I have Mike Trout at 14.
There's the name.
Okay.
That's the name.
I knew it.
All right.
Yep.
So Mike Trout is healthy? Question mark.
Sure.
Until he's not.
Until he's not, he is. And he had an okay year last year. Still hits the ball incredibly hard, but had an okay year last year. 308 at bats, 18 homers, 14 doubles, 2 steals. He's not going to run anymore. You're going to get single-digit steals out of this guy. I'm wondering though if the walk totals are going to start going down and the strikeouts are going to start going up because he's the only thing that's there in Anaheim.
Mm-hmm.
Jason, how you feeling about Mike Trout?
Yeah, I do have him a little bit higher, but
Yeah.
he's become he like that. I feel like he's gone from, a surefire number one pick to, do I want this guy on my team? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's fascinating that if you watch the trajectory of Mike Trout, especially over the last 4 or 5 years, how his value has shifted. Yeah, I look again, I look back at the last 3 years and the numbers are off the charts on a per game basis, but
Mm-hmm.
the games aren't there, the volume's not there.
Yeah. Yeah. I owned him in, I think it was 2021 where he got, where he basically played 2 months and then said goodbye.
Yep.
Yeah.
Played 36 games in 21.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Hamate
That
bone
was
injury.
fun. Yeah, I think that's what that was.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Total was.
Yeah. I don't know. Here's the thing. If you're going to get him, you're probably going to have to spend a second or third round pick. Like, be realistic. Like, fuck what Yahoo's
I don't know about
average
that.
draft pick is right now.
Right now, he is going at 50.
Yeah, that's fourth round. There's no way on earth he is sticking around until the fourth round in our league. No way.
Chance. Not a
No
chance.
chance. He's a second to third round bet.
Passes will take him in the first round.
Maybe. Who knows?
Hey, Michael Harris was taken in the third round last year.
Yeah.
Anything's possible.
He's still a name, and that dude, I'm telling you, second, third round, we're gonna see him fly off the board, and I'm not gonna be all that surprised.
Yep.
My number 13 is Christian Yelich. We talked about him. Frank, who do you have at 13?
Dallas Garcia, we talked about him.
Jason?
Brandon Nimmo.
Oh, wow, that is high for Brandon Nimmo.
Yeah,
you seem to like him.
I loved what I saw from him, and this is back-to-back years of full slate of games, 150 plus games, out of him. And look, his average was exactly the same each year, 274, not bad. The expected batting average is right around there, good. And we know him. He's not going to strike out. He walks good. He walks a lot. And the power has blossomed now with 24 home runs in 2023. So again, I think moving into left field takes the pressure off of him. He's not gonna have to run around center field anymore. I like him here.
Do you think he repeats almost 25 home runs?
I don't see why not.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see why not. If he can do it, let him do it. Like, as long as he's maintaining that sparkling on base at 363 while hitting 24 home runs, yeah, let him do it.
All right. Number 12, I have Dallas Garcia. We talked about him. Frank, who's at 12 for you, buddy?
I have Randy Rosarena. We talked about him as well.
That's nice and high for Randy Rosarena. Top 12.
Mm-hmm.
That's an outfield one. Like, you would draft him in the top 3 rounds then, right?
I like it. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. All right. Jason, who do you have at 12?
Somebody we haven't talked about yet, who I'm kind of surprised that I have this high up. But he had a really, really good 2023. Finally saw a good slate of games. It's our friend Lubob.
It is Lubob, isn't it?
Yeah.
I have him at 11. I have him at 11. I am literally the next guy up.
Yeah. I didn't want to get him this high because I don't like the White Sox, but I could not ignore the 38 homers, 20 steals, 80 RBIs, 90 runs, 36 doubles. Like, that's what we've been waiting for from Luis Robert. And he's only going to be 26, so like there's no reason he can't do something better. It's just that the lineup around him is going to suck.
I just wish that he walked a little bit more. He only had 30 walks and 595 at bats. It's not a great line there, and it only equates to a 315 on base. Yeah. But you're right. Everything else makes a lot of sense for this dude. If he takes another step forward, if this lineup could be anything around him, if Andrew Vaughn could just be a normal human being, if he could be, I don't know, Eric Hosmer in his prime, that would be great.
Eloy, stay on the field for a minute,
Yeah. Paul DeYoung
hit 30 bombs. Live up to expectations.
Yes. Yes, Paul DeYoung hits 30 bombs, and Gavin Sheets has like 15 bombs. Like if this lineup could do anything, they could compete in the Central, and Lubob might be able to carry them. Yeah, I have him at 11, and I like it. Frank, who do you have at 11?
I have Michael Harris too, Electric Boogaloo.
He has Michael Harris 2 at 11. Go figure. That's kind of funny.
Cute.
Jason, who do you have at 11?
I didn't even plan that.
I'm obviously the low man on this guy because I just want to see one more season of him to make sure it's real, but it's Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, I've got him in top 7.
Yeah.
I have him
Yeah.
top 5.
I can see it. I definitely could see it. I just, I'm wary of the sophomore slump for him. So that's just something in my mind. But he could be, by the end of the season, he could be number 1 outfielder. Like he's that dynamic. I love the Diamondbacks. He's good. I just want to see, and triple eligible. He's eligible all 3 spots, which is beautiful. So
I can see the catastrophic outcome of Corbin Carroll. Like I could see how listen, if you want him, you're going to draft him in the top 10, top 7 picks of the whole draft. Right? He's going off in the top 5, I think.
right now he is he's the 5th overall pick.
Yeah. So you want him, you're getting a top 5 pick. Listen, he has this shoulder thing. I don't know if anybody remembers this, but he has a balky shoulder that he hasn't gotten repaired yet, and I can see the catastrophic outcome of he swings really hard, his shoulder explodes, and he's out for the rest of the year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm willing. I understand the trepidation. The funny part is I have him right next to Fernando Tatis, who also had a bad shoulder, and we saw him miss the season because of it.
He also Corbin Carroll also, I feel like he kind of tapered off towards the the end of the season. I remember he started off the season as the surefire thing for rookie of the year, and then he started slumping. Kodai Senga came on, and he was oh, maybe challenging. And he the second half of the season he hit 280 compared to 289 in the first half. So it's not terrible, but there's a drop off, and I just wonder, is that going to be a thing?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting second season for Carroll. The Diamondbacks certainly have built that team around him, so it'll be interesting. Listen, every sophomore has this. You have this fear with them because you never know who's going to be that sophomore slump.
Right.
My number 10 is Mike Trout. He made the top 10 for me, but that's about as far as I could get him. Frank, who do you have at 10?
Lubob.
Lubob makes his top 10. Jason, who's your 10?
Trout.
Trout is at all right. Good job.
You guys shared one. Oh my god.
You got one. All right, my number 9 is somebody we haven't talked about yet. Big Jordan Alvarez checks in here at number 9 for me. 31 homers, 97 RBIs. If he could just stay healthy for a full season, I'd love it. Love the low strikeout rate. Love the walks. You get absolutely no speed with this guy. That's why he's underneath literally everybody above him. There's stolen bases to be had in bounties going up this ladder from here. Frank, who do you have at number 9?
I have the same. Jordan Alvarez.
Jordan Alvarez. All right, good call, man. Jason?
Look, this pains me to say, and I'm crazy. I feel like I'm missing something, but I have Michael Harris at number 9. Yeah, okay. I don't like it, but 22 years old, and even if he's sitting at the bottom of this order, that's kind of at the top of the order for this team. And I don't know. I feel like there's more to come. Again, he's only 22. There's more to come from this bat. 20 steals each of the last 2 years. Yeah, I think there's so much more potential from this guy. His expected batting average is right around his true batting average. His xwOBA is right around his on base percentage. He hits the ball hard, doesn't strike out. There's a lot of tools here and the lineup. I don't know. I can see a situation where he falls down, but as long as he's healthy and he's playing, I like this kid.
Frank Bucco, your thoughts?
From a Met fan, that was probably one of the
Ah,
best explanations of a Braves player I've ever heard in my entire life, and I'm very happy about it. No,
All right.
he's excellent. I mean, he, you know, even where he hits in the lineup, he's literally just, he's like, it's like him and Acuna are like Batman and Robin. It's like he gets on base and Acuna hits him in,
Mhm.
and you know, he's just a bunch of counting stats for you know the MVP.
by the
It's
way,
like, hey, go get on base and do that, and then I'll hit you, and I promise I'll
yeah,
do
and
something.
I can totally see a situation where him and Ozzy Albies swap in the lineup, and he's batting
I wouldn't.
second.
I
I
don't.
I do because I don't like Albies at all. So I think
We know that.
yeah. So I see a situation where that like Harris is raking and they move him up to number 2 to hit behind Acuna in front of Riley and move Albies and his strikeouts down in the order.
It could happen. I mean, they could hit Albie 6th
I mean,
behind
hell, they could
Ozuna.
take a chance on Jared Kelenic at number 2.
They could do that too.
Yeah, I mean
And let them.
At some point, if he's hot early
Yeah.
and Albie's is slumping, it could make sense to do that.
yeah.
Hey, they did it with Dansby when he was there.
They did. They did.
Yep.
That was when Albies was hurt, right?
No.
I feel like Albies was I feel
Albies
like
was hitting
Albies missed the
6th at
season.
that point.
Oh, okay.
Albies
right.
was slumping.
Yeah.
See,
Number 8. Number 8 is Fernando Tatis Jr. for me. Again, yeah, back to
hey,
back. 25 homers, 29 steals is the reason he's over Yordan Alvarez. Otherwise, I'd probably have him underneath there. 33 doubles, 91 runs scored. I don't necessarily like the Padres next year, or this year, I'm sorry. I think they've obviously subtracted from the team by getting rid of Juan Soto. And I don't know where he's going to hit in the lineup. He used to be a leadoff hitter. I guess now maybe it's second or third with Manny Machado. With that much fluctuation in the lineup and that much concern over his health over the last couple of years, I think I'm just going to ride that one out and pass on him if I see him in the first round, unless I absolutely have to at like the back end of the first round.
Roster Resource has him leading off right now.
Okay. All right. I like that a lot better than further down.
Yeah.
Frank, who do you have at 8?
I have Aaron Judge at 8.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Is it the 406 on base percentage?
No.
Is it the 1.019 OPS?
Is it the 97.6 average exit velocity?
You guys are speaking.
Is it the 27.5% barrel percentage?
I just think that I personally feel that there's players that are better than him, and
Okay.
I mean that are above him. I
love
just
the guy. I got him in the top 5.
Yankee lineup sucks.
Juan Soto just joined that Yankee lineup.
I know. Okay.
That Yankee lineup is pretty damn scary now, dude. Okay. Jason, who do you have at 8?
Tatis.
That's right. All right. At 7, I have Corbin Carroll. Frank, who's at 7?
Juan Soto.
Okay. I have him higher. Is it for the same reasons? Like he's hitting in Yankee Stadium? You don't like that?
No. I don't mind that as a lefty. The walk rate's good. This and that. It's just
he had 132 walks.
I know.
The walk rate is fantastic.
I know.
It's the best.
I know. I'm aware. I just as I say, that Yankee lineup, just even though he's there, I still don't think it's as good as a Baltimore or Toronto.
I mean, I don't either, be honest. Like Soto and Judge, outside of that,
Soto and Judge and what? Giancarlo Stanton?
Yeah.
He sucks. I mean,
but on an individual basis, Soto and Judge are 2 of the best players in the game.
Right. Yeah. I'll give them that, but I don't think they're better than the guys I have above them.
Okay. Jason, who's at 7 for you?
I have Yordan Alvarez here, and I'll be honest, I did have him a little bit higher, until I found out that they're planning on hitting him second in the order. And
Wow.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like I'd rather see like Bregman hit second and have Jordan more in the middle of the order. So he slides down a little bit for me for that. You're right about the speed, but the power is just incredible. And that lineup is awesome. So as long as he can stay healthy, he's a sheer slugger.
All right, we move on to number 6, and this is a guy we haven't talked about yet. It's Jason's first round pick last year, Julio Rodriguez. Uh, he has by far and away the most strikeouts of anybody in this top cluster, and that's the whole reason he sits right outside the top 5 for me. I think all of this is real. 100 runs, 100 RBIs, a 30-30 season seems pretty respectable and expected every year now. 37 doubles was really nice. He hit the fucking cover off the ball, 92.7 average exit velocity. He's a monster. Just cut down on the strikeouts, man. Just cut down on those, and you'll see yourself in the top 5. Frankie, who do you have at 6?
I have Fernando Tatis.
Okay. Talked about him. Jason, who do you have at 6?
I got Julio.
All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Look, like I said, he was my first round pick last year, and there was a while during the season where I was regretting it because like he was really slumping probably through June, and then he finally turned it back on. I think there was some injury problems going on. Obviously, the strikeouts are bad. And he doesn't walk, but yeah, if he's healthy, he's super dynamic.
Absolutely. Number 5 for me is Kyle Tucker.
Yep. I feel like we might be in lockstep
same.
the rest of the way.
We might be. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay. Frank, who do you have at 5?
I have Kyle Tucker.
Perfect. And you
All
have
of us
Kyle
do.
Tucker. All 3 of us have Kyle Tucker at 5, which is very nice.
Yep.
37
Fantastic.
doubles, 112 RBIs. And you know what? They're saying they're going to bat him 4th.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm down for that.
Yeah. If that's what's happening, that's really sexy.
I personally would prefer him batting second.
Yeah.
That'd
I think
be
it makes more sense.
Altuve, him, Bregman, Jordan.
Yeah.
Jose Abreu. Like that 5 makes sense that way for me. But wherever he's hitting, so long as it's not fucking 6th anymore, I'm tired
Yeah,
of
I like
seeing
him
him
in the
bat
3 or
6th.
5 spot personally.
I think we're out of that. Yeah. But like the power speed, the average is right in line. The WOBA is right in line. The hard hit, like everything about this guy screams just absolute megastar.
Absolutely. And he's going to carry those Houston Astros, hopefully, to an AL West title this year.
Yep.
Number 4, Jason, say it on 3 with me. 1, 2, 3. Aaron Judge.
Aaron Judge.
Yes!
Yeah. The only thing for me holding him back is his age and just injury concerns, because it seems like, whenever things get good, he finds injury. So, but like, yeah, when he's on the field, he is by far one of the best players in the game.
He had 367 at bats last year and hit 37 bombs. Like, yes, the 75 runs in RBIs, like that's not great when you see 37 bombs, but he only played about half the season, maybe a little bit more than half the season. You extrapolate those out,
64% hard hit rate, like
insane.
Yeah,
absolutely insane. And his expected batting average was almost 30 points higher than the 267 he hit.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely on board with Aaron Judge at 4. Frank, who do you have at 4?
I have Corbin Carroll at 4.
Okay, fair enough. Understanding, believing the hype of the rookie of the year, and not too concerned about a second half slump.
Yep.
All right, Jason. On 3, you say you're number 3. 1, 2, 3. Juan Soto. All right.
Yeah.
So far, so good. Now I think we do have it the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think 1 through 5 is in lockstep.
Okay.
Yeah, Soto is Soto. I don't know if there's really anything really to say about him.
Nothing that we haven't already said about Juan Soto earlier. Frank, who do you have at 3? Julio. He's believing in Julio. All right. Ready, guys? I think we're going to have the same 2 and 1, though. All right, number 2, all at the same time. 1, 2, 3. Mookie Betts.
Mookie Betts.
All right. And the number 1, of course, is Ronald Acuna for everyone.
Yes!
And
Yeah.
Frank,
But-
I'll give you a moment here to talk about Acuna if you want.
Oh my God, he's so amazing. That guy's just fantastic. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm accepting an award for him because he's that fantastic. No, he's just. I mean, 74 steals,
73.
73. Okay,
Mhm.
73 steals, 40 bombs. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, out of a leadoff hitter.
I think it was the most runs scored in the last like
Yeah.
25 years or something. Something
I
ridiculous.
mean,
Like 149 runs scored was the most in the last at least 20 years, I think.
right. Like, the guy gets on base. I mean, he gets on, he flies around. I mean, and the guys behind him are doing their job.
Yep.
So they're allowing him to score those runs. He's getting in scoring position. He's doing the things he's supposed to do.
Remember when we
And
were worried about Ronald Acuna's strikeout rate?
yep,
It's now
runs.
11.5%. Once upon a time, we were concerned about that, and now it's at 11.5%.
It's amazing.
In the year 2000, Jeff Bagwell scored 152 runs.
Oof.
Nobody had eclipsed that. Nobody even came close to that until Acuna.
Until Acuna with 149.
Yeah.
And then not only that, those stats, but he was in like striking distance of a batting title.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Yeah.
I mean,
if Luis Arias didn't hit 400 for 2 months, like
exactly.
Yep.
Or Freddie Freeman didn't hit, isn't Freddie Freeman.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, the guy's he's
and he's only 26. Like
man,
he's just
number
getting into his
one.
prime.
And as for Mookie Betts, he would absolutely have won the NL MVP if not for Acuna. And he's triple eligible. I don't think there's any argument that you can make that makes Mookie Betts anything other than number 2.
No.
No.
The lineup, the triple eligibility, and just the superstar that he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like it's almost 1A and 1B.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I could hear the argument that he doesn't steal enough bags, but you know what? You're not taking any risk with this guy. He plays every day. He has played every day for a very long time.
Doesn't strike out.
Doesn't strike out. Doesn't miss time. Like that's the biggest thing with these top of the draft picks. Is you want the guy who's not going to miss any time.
Yeah.
He's got to be there to carry your team the whole time.
Yeah, because you don't want to, draft a Mike Trout 4th pick overall and have him play 36 games, right? Like
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. And with those two, it's not a question of, oh, well, they're in a great lineup. They're in a Dodger lineup. They're in a Braves lineup. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they can hit anywhere.
Yeah, they'd be good
They
anywhere.
can hit anywhere.
Yeah, they would be good.
You put them in
regardless.
Oakland, they'd probably win well, maybe not. But
Maybe not.
maybe
That's
not.
no
But
stretch.
they come close. It'd be like Moneyball all over again.
Guys, this has been a fantastic show. Frank, thank you so much for being here with us, my man.
Of course. My
Jason,
pleasure.
thank you as well, my friend.
Yes, always happy to be talking baseball with you, gentlemen. And we keep creeping up on the draft day. Was it March 17th is right now the draft day?
March 17th is in fact the draft at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Dude, that's right around the corner.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
Shoot without a script.
Get your green beer ready.
Get your green beers ready. We will be drafting on St. Patrick's Day. Guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. If you want to be involved in any of these ranking shows, we got starting pitcher and relief pitcher left. So get your lists in and let us know when you're available. Until then, thank you guys for watching. And until next time, it's been real. It's been fun. And it's always real fun in the bigs. We'll see you next time.